Now, with the cost of food rising almost on a daily basis, we're constantly being advised to shop wisely and make the most of our resources. Well, a woman in Cornwall is now offering to teach you how to collect and cook gourmet food for free.
Well, Caroline Davey scours the lanes, woods and beaches of the county for her food. In the first of two special reports, she set off with Eleanor Parkinson. Their mission, to make a Cornish hedgerow salad.
It wasn't perfect weather for a walk in the woods, but this was no ordinary ramble. Caroline Davey and I are on the hunt for wood sorrel, because this will be one of the main ingredients for the salad she'll be making later today. Now, you're going to be using this for a salad today, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
But you can use it in other dishes, can't you?
Yeah, it goes really well with fish, and seafoods, goes well with scallops. You can make a sauce out of it. It goes very well with eggs as well. But it's got quite a sharp taste.
This little leaf is tasty too. It's sometimes called Siberian miner's lettuce because it was eaten by miners. Caroline Davey has been foraging for years, but she's now taken her obsession one step further, and together with two chefs, they offer courses on how to turn this greenery into gourmet dishes. Okay. Back in the kitchen, she's convinced her family, even the youngest members, that this is the way forward.
I'm going to use some of this chickweed, which is a weed found around arable fields on bare ground. So I'm going to use this as the sort of base for the salad. I'm just going to chuck it in there, and I'm going to add a bit of this wood sorrel, which we just picked in the woods. This gives it a lovely kind of lemony tang to it. So I'm just going to scatter some wood sorrel in there. Now for a little bit of colour, I'm going to use this red clover. You find this in grassland. And this seaweed, I've dried this in the dehydrator, and this seaweed is called gutweed, or Enteromorpha, which doesn't sound very appetising.
But is it tasty?
It's really tasty, and this is it fresh, and you'll recognise this from all our beaches and rocky shores. Finally, I'm just going to dress the salad, very simply. Bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, some olive oil, just drizzle it on. Here's our salad.
And it was delicious. We ate it with feta cheese and homemade bread. So what's on the menu tomorrow? We'll be down on the beach collecting material for a seaweed pudding. Eleanor Parkinson, BBC Spotlight, West Cornwall.
A seaweed pudding, I'm not so sure, but that looked delicious. But for heaven's sakes, don't go foraging in fields and hedgerows just for anything. You really have to know what you're doing, which they obviously do.
Absolutely right. OK, time for the weather forecast. Now, we've had a little bit of respite from the rain.
Well, if you watched Spotlight last night, you'll remember we featured a woman from Cornwall who not only forages for food, but will teach you how to turn it into gourmet meals.
Yes, last night it was hedgerow salad. Well, tonight it's a pudding made from seaweed. Bladderwrack blancmange, perhaps, I don't know. We're going to find out now. Eleanor Parkinson has been to find out how it's made.
Caroline Davey and I are on a beach in West Cornwall on the hunt for seaweed. If you're adventurous, most seaweeds can be eaten. Some are delicious deep-fried, others can be dried and then eaten in a salad. But today we're looking for a very special little seaweed, the carrageen, because in the kitchen it has some pretty amazing properties.
It's got this sort of gelling agent in it, so when you soak it in a water or a liquid, it exudes a jelly which then can be used for setting things, anything from puddings to lipstick. During the Second World War, they had a distinct lack of agar, which they couldn't get hold of from Japan for obvious reasons, and so they used carrageen, and they sent volunteers out on a massive scale to harvest carrageen from the seashore. And yeah, so they cultured penicillin on carrageen. So I take my handful of carrageen, and then I'll need to soak it in water.
Well, we're not going to grow any strange cultures today. Instead, Caroline's going to make a traditional Irish dish called carrageen pudding.
OK, so here is some that I've pre-soaked, because it takes 10 minutes. So what I do, I put the carrageen into a saucepan, and then I add 2 really good long strips of lemon peel into the saucepan with it, a pint of milk, and then I need to put this on the heat gently until bring it up to boiling point.
The seaweed is of course only used as a gelling agent, so after it's removed from the milk, everything is mixed together with eggs and sugar and then chilled in the fridge. After that, it's ready to serve.
Since it's summer, and I've made a batch of elderflower cordial. I'm going to drizzle the elderflower cordial over the top and serve it with some wild strawberries and a few cultivated ones too.
Of course, if you do want to forage food from the beach or the field, you must be careful about what you pick, as some plants can be poisonous. But Caroline Davey's foraging and cooking courses should ensure that you are on the right track. Eleanor Parkinson, BBC Spotlight, West Cornwall.
I'm not sure if I feel hungry now or not.
I thought it looked quite nice, actually, with the elder.